And I'm back today with another SKN demo that I really hope YouTube continues to be benevolent about. This is more of sort of a fitness glamour shot of Chelsea, but it's a real quick demo because I like to show off about SKN's tone functions. I'm going to go ahead and run it while I tell you a little bit about it. I keep talking about the HSB or HSL replacement that we do. So like if you modify the highlights, mids, or shadows, you're not just literally using an adjustment layer to modify the existing pixels. You are replacing them in a way. It's some cool layer setups with blend modes and some other things. And so I want you to look at the highlights here on Chelsea. And I'm going to go, now that tone has been run, I'm going to go to the highlight section here. Now there's a brightness slider currently at maximum. Look what happens when I take it down to 0. I neutralize the highlights. They're just gone. They're completely gone. It's not to say that I've taken, like I said, curves or levels or anything like that. I have gotten them completely gone. Now you might think, what's the point of getting rid of the highlights? Well, you never know. You may want to reduce overpowered highlights. And then down here with the highlight range functions, you can dial in sort of a different highlight range. Whether it's, I'm going to put it real high for a minute, whether it's this range or a little bit of a tighter range or a really broad range, you can just dial in the highlights that you want without the original highlights, which could be too much. You don't have to turn them completely off, but you can reduce them. Now, if you have any experience at all dealing with bright highlights, you know that setting up a typical curves darkening function doesn't work. You know that using levels sometimes can be tricky. Exposure can be tricky. Getting rid of highlights is often tough, especially specular ones, because they tend to have pure white pixels or darn close. And because of that, they tend to not go away. You tend to just kind of, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you know. If you know, you know. And being able to completely neutralize your highlights when you need to is a huge power of SKN toning. Again, it's that HSB replacing that we do. It's so cool. So definitely try that out, especially if you have like some skin sheen that you don't want, like on a forehead or something. That's fine. That's like the normal thing people might want to control highlights with. But I also like to dial in the exact highlights I want when I'm working with something like a physique shot like this or something like that. And don't forget, other things you do like midtones, we can deepen those and still control our highlights however we want, with the regular highlights, or rather the original highlights removed. See how that's too strong with the look I'm getting? Now I can tone that down and still get a wonderful look of some kind. So don't forget that highlights can be completely neutralized in a natural way with SKN tone.